Fair enough.
Alright, guys, welcome back to... This is not right. To day
F1.
7. Day 7. Day 7 of our 12 Days of Christmas. Wow, that's crazy. That's crazy. No, I can't believe that. Excuse me. This episode is our F1 recap. So we have gone through the year in F1 since we both started watching, because we did not watch the full season, or we weren't involved in the full season. And we picked out some statistics that we found out throughout the year, courtesy of our podcast notes, and we picked out some of our favorite moments. So how I'm hoping this video will break up is that the first quarter will be just statistics, and then the rest will just be us talking about our favorite moments, because
It's a
that's
lot.
just something easier to talk about and not just boring you guys with numbers the entire time. So you want to watch the full video to find out our favorite moments from this F1 season. Before you get too far into the video. Okay, guys, I love that we're still doing this and we're still laughing about it, because honestly, we do this every episode. But don't forget to subscribe to our channel, because we are trying to hit 500 subscribers before the end of the year. Please make it happen. We want to do a giveaway to 5 people. This would not be possible without you guys, so please get us to 500 subscribers. We know you can do it. That being said, you want to turn on our post notifications, because there are still 5 more videos coming out after this one, and you don't want to miss a single one of them, because the other 5 that we still have left, I'm just looking at them, are ones you definitely won't want to miss, because, well, I won't spoil one, but one will be Julie. So, you guys definitely want to turn on your post notifications so you can see these videos.
It's like, wait, what? Oh,
You're
yeah.
like, which one is it? Oh, wait! We have not said anything about this. This is a really special one, so you guys will definitely want to watch it. That being said, we do have the links in the description to our other social media pages, like our Instagram, our Twitter, Facebook, TikTok, whatever else we have. It's down in the description below. Did I hit everything? Don't forget to like the video, because that does help if you like the video. So keep liking the video.
So, welcome back to Stupid Statistics F1 edition. Which, they're not stupid. They're really good statistics. But,
Yeah.
I mean, probably some of them are kind of funny. But,
Well, they're legit statistics.
alright. So, first things first, Checo has earned as many points for Red Bull in 2023 and 2024 combined as Verstappen did in 2024. I mean, we should have saw this coming.
Yeah, not a shocker.
Anyways, so Pierre Gasly has scored more points than Checo since the summer break. Also, not surprising. Gasly with 36 points and Checo with 21 points.
That's a 15-point difference. And a podium, I think, as well. Did Checo get on the podium in the second half?
No. Did he?
I'm pretty sure he didn't.
Gasly got a podium. Checo hasn't got a podium. If he did, I clearly...
Since
I feel like
the
I would have
beginning of
remembered
the
that.
season, I think.
Yeah, I think he got podium. No, did he? I'm not even gonna go deep into that. Just let us know if you know. Lando has McLaren scored the second most podiums in the season, only behind Prost, who has 14, and Lando had 13 this past season.
Yeah, so Senna had less podiums in a single season than Lando did.
Yeah, so pretty good. The point gap between teammates, Checo to Max, is 285. Again, not surprising. The rest of the grid combined is 275.
Yeah, that's a 10-point difference between the entire rest of the grid to Max and Checo.
Yeah, so take that as you will. And then Red Bull has the same number of wins since 2022 as Ferrari does since 2008. This is 45 wins in total.
Although that should be more, because I think this statistic was actually before Max won
Yeah.
in Abu Dhabi, so it's more now, but it's still a good statistic.
Yeah. Either way, it's gotten bigger. So Max Verstappen has more points this season than Haas has in its entire history as an F1 team. Max has 331 points, Haas has 270 points.
Again, this is not an updated number. This is just the statistic that we found when it first happened. This was earlier on in this season, but still, this is crazy to think about. Like, just the amount of scoring that Max has had. And I think it will be interesting going into next season to see what changes they're making to the car, knowing that 2026 is different regulations and that they've been struggling with their car. So it'll just be interesting to see what all happens come 20.
Yes, I'm honestly, this new F1 season is going to be definitely interesting with all the new drivers, the changes. So I guess we'll see. So Alex Albon has 100 races, which condones him a congrats, but it's gotten bigger because this was in October. So he has probably more races than that. Well, actually,
Yes, it would be
he
more
does.
than 100. It'd be about probably 5 or 6 more.
Yeah.
But again, he's just one of the multiple drivers hitting these certain,
Milestones.
celebratory milestones, like 100 races. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Nothing compared to Fernando Alonso.
No.
But it's still pretty crazy to think about, like 100 races.
Yeah. So congrats to him. So 3 of the drivers on the grid weren't born when Fernando Alonso made his F1 debut. I'm just gonna leave that there for you.
While we're talking about Fernando Alonso.
So this would be Oscar, Franco, and Liam. So Lando is the 16th driver to reach 100 Q3 appearances. This was in October, so it has definitely updated a bunch. But 100 out of 124 equals 80.6% of the time. Again, that has changed some, so it's a higher statistic, but this was the statistic in October.
Yeah, I would be willing to bet that even so, if we take what was it out of?
124.
Okay. So even if we just did 3 races, because he did not get knocked out of Q3, it goes up to 81.5%. So, but that even the 81 is not correct. It's definitely higher. There were more than 6 races from that statistic.
So leave that there. I think it's a good thing to say that Lando has made a big improvement from last year and has proved himself on the track. So congrats.
Well, not only that, just to add here, but I think that it helps when you drive a fast car.
Yeah, the McLaren team helped a lot.
Knowing how the car has performed in the past and how it is now.
Yeah.
I think that that's a huge help. Like, this is not anything going against Lando.
No.
Because he is a good driver. It just helps when you have a better car.
Oh, yeah. It makes a big difference, as we can tell if you look at any of the other teams in their cars.
Alpine.
Anyways, okay, so Zhou is closer to Perez in the driver's standing than Perez is to Max, Lando, or Charles. This was November. It probably has even gotten
it's probably still a thing.
Yeah.
Especially
because it has been a change.
Zhou scored points.
Yeah. Slay. And then we have Alex Albon hasn't finished a race since Baku, which was 6 races ago. Singapore, Coda, Mexico, Brazil, and now Vegas. This was November. Did he finish the Abu Dhabi race?
After Vegas? Hold on, I have it pulled up. I can look.
I feel like
he got lapped.
Yeah.
In Qatar.
Mm-hmm.
And so he finished that one. Same goes for Abu Dhabi.
I was about to say, I think he finished the last 2 races. It was Colapinto who didn't finish the Abu Dhabi race and did he finish the Qatar race?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Cool. So now that's there
But
for
he
you.
got lapped in both of them.
Yeah.
So, but yeah. 6 races is pretty bad.
It's going to be an interesting year for Williams.
No, but Logan though? Logan didn't do that.
No.
Right?
No.
He didn't do that. Yeah, Logan finished all but 2 races this season.
Okay. I just knew he didn't finish 2. I just didn't know which ones.
Yes, only 2. So, did they make the best decision? Did ya, Williams? Did ya? Anyways.
Moving on, because we could do a whole nother video just talking about the Williams situation. Just Williams in general. Moving on. Okay. So, hold on, I gotta find where we were. In terms of average quality positions, Checo is closer to Bottas than he is to Max. Bottas's average is 15.50, Checo is 9.23, and Max is 2.91. This is November. I still feel like it probably hasn't changed.
Probably not. Not really.
No. And then we have Drake lost $210,000 by betting on Charles to win the Las Vegas Grand Prix. This is this month, and we all know about the Drake curse. Never trust Drake. Never.
It's just too funny. It's just too funny.
If I was Charles, I would have texted him and been like, remove it.
I would have been like, bro, take your bet off of me right now.
Take it off. What have you done? Okay, so Max is the first F1 driver to become world champion with a car that's 3rd or worst in the constructors in over 40 years. This is the SMUP. It hasn't changed, and it's honestly shocking, but congrats to him. He deserved it. He worked hard this year. But the fact that he won in a car that's probably one of the worst. We probably know who the top one is, but we're not going to get into that. So next is Nico Hülkenberg holds the record for the most career F1 starts without a podium finish with 227.
I'm telling you, I really thought that the last race with him and K-Mag was just going to go bowling and take people out. Unfortunately, that didn't happen, and then his 3-place grid penalty didn't help.
I was so mad. I was so excited. You should have seen me in the car. So I was watching. I'm like, oh my gosh, we could have a podium. And then they did that, and I was like, jerks. Come on now. You didn't have to. Get the guy one more chance to win. Like, you know?
Yeah. Top 4 was on lock, though, that race.
So, next thing is Pierre Gasly becomes the first and only F1 driver to end a season without any damages. Which I was honestly shocked when I heard this when we talked about it in our F1 video. And it still shocks me because, like, just the thought of him having, like, no damages, like, you would have thought something must have happened. But nope, it was all Ocon. Anything Alpine got with damages was Ocon.
Yeah.
Crazy. And then Lewis ends his career with Mercedes with 246 races, and Valtteri, is it Valtteri? I always mess it up. Valtteri Bottas ends his career with 246 total Grand Prix. Sad boy hours.
So the 246 and the 246.
Now to our favorite moments of the season.
Yeah, so that could be another one of those.
Yeah.
Okay. So, like I said, my first Grand Prix was the Australian Grand Prix. But I can't tell you what all happened or went down because I did not pay that much attention to the Grand Prix at that time. So that's besides the point. But something that was one of my favorite moments from this season was Lewis's win at Silverstone. It ended up being his 104th win. And it came 17 years and a month after his first win.
Crazy. Stunning work. Okay, so since we're talking about first races, my first race was the Miami Grand Prix where Lando won his first race. It was kind of like my birthday race because my birthday was the next following days. So it was just cool. I didn't fully know what was happening, but I learned a lot. So that was my first race. And also to add to that race, it was Max hitting the caution cone.
Yes.
And all the memes from it, and then the meme of Max in the cool-off room.
Yeah. We'll have to put some of the memes that you came up from that moment in here.
All the
Put
memes I
those
created.
right in here. I will echo said Miami Grand Prix. And Lando's first win. But I will also add on to that, one of my favorite moments is clip of Lando with the GoPro, and he's sitting in that bin in the heat in the Dolphins stadium, and he just goes, okay, just pretend I'm holding a camera. He goes, Lando Norris found dead in a bin after playing hide and seek. That's one of my favorite moments from this season.
So, to the Vegas Grand Prix, just the Sphere himself being a whole character. But then F1 was wrong for this. Whoever was controlling the Sphere, putting up Checo's video of him going, when he made a mistake, they did it to him. I busted out laughing. One of the funniest things I've ever seen. I was like, oh, they did him dirty. They did him dirty. But yes, the Sphere, I love him with all my heart.
Another thing that I have is Ollie racing multiple times throughout the year, becoming the first driver ever to race with different teams and score points both times. Like, that's pretty impressive within itself.
To continue with Vegas, Carlos deciding that he was gonna win and he wasn't gonna step to the side and let Charles win like Ferrari asked him to. He said, I'm gonna do what I want. And honestly, a slave for him because he deserved it. He worked hard. And just him in general. Also, the cool down car. Because they didn't have a cool down room, they had a cool down car, and it was Lewis, George, and Carlos in the back seat, and Lewis is fixing his like face and his hair, and Carlos just looks happy to be there, but he's also Lana Del Rey coded, like everyone says, and he's just like, and then you have just George, and George is a character in his own self, and he's just there. I couldn't really talk much about him, but it was just all these
talking,
and then just them in like a tight little car. That's all I have to say. They're just all like, anyways, Vegas stuff.
My next thing, papaya rules. And I'm gonna leave it at that.
That in its own self just explains everything. Speaking of McLaren, I have to mention Oscar's little quote he said, and it's that I'm not just going to pull over for the next 9 races and let him go past at every opportunity. I was honestly shocked and so proud of Oscar for saying that because everyone just kept saying he just needs to step aside and just let Lando win, but he's his own driver. Like Carlos, he has the chance to win, he's gonna win. And then Oscar's win, of course. Amazing day for him.
Well, I will one-up you, and I will go for his second win in Baku because that was just a brilliant move around Charles, and he was able to make it stick for the rest of the race. He was able to fend off Charles, the amazing defensive maneuvers that he was going through. Absolutely wonderful. It was a stellar performance from him, but it was not tainted by anything.
No.
So it was a pure Oscar Piastri masterclass race win, and that is why it is one of my favorite moments.
Yes. If we're talking about gaps and winning, I need to talk about the Singapore gap and the heat almost causing. Okay, so the drivers almost passing out, just people getting water dumped on them, like when the interviewer dumped the whole glass bottle of water on Lando. Like you could tell he really was very excited about that because you could tell he was hot. It's just that heat wave was absolutely insane, and just the gap between was it him and George that had the gap, or was it him and Mac? Don't ask me. But it was the gap in general. It was a 32-second gap at one point, and someone videoed it, and you could actually, like, you could watch him go by, and then you just sit there for 30 seconds, and then the next car drives by. So Singapore, honestly, was a very impressive race for Lando.
It was Mac.
Max. Okay, it was Max or George, and I think at one point he was George later in the season that he had the gap between.
Yes.
Okay, that's what I thought. I got it mixed up. But anyways, yes, the Singapore Gap, the heat wave, and just chaos in general, and also the fireworks he was very excited about. So, yeah.
Well, I will echo that. That was my favorite race just because I felt like I wasn't on the edge of my seat the entire race. Lando came out, he got pole, he converted. Down to turn 1, we were safe. We were safe down to turn 1. But it just felt like I said, an Oscar absolute masterclass in Baku. This was Lando's.
Yeah.
Like, there was nothing that was, like, remotely shaky. There was no team orders being like, Oscar, step aside. It was clean, it was good, it was straightforward, and Lando went out and built himself a gap to Max. And that's what mattered the most, coming down to it. And that's why.
And then I have to go back a couple races to the Monaco Grand Prix, where Charles broke the curse, and such a beautiful race, and in all honesty, just a very emotional race for Charles. I'm gonna be honest, I shed some tears. I think it was a really good race for Charles, and I'm glad that he won that race. And then him and who was it? Who did he jump in the water with?
Fred.
Yeah, that was cute.
Well, I will piggyback Monaco, but for a different reason, but kind of similar. Mine, with Monaco, is Charles adopting Oscar.
Yeah.
Leclerc, front row lockout.
And then we have Carlos winning the Mexican Grand Prix. That was one of my favorite races as well, because I was rooting for him the whole time. And then Lando was on pole with him, so it was a Carlando finish, and I was very excited for them. But also because Carlos is one of my favorite drivers, and it was just nice getting to see him win, because I didn't get to see his win after he had his appendix out. His Australia win, but I'm glad I got to see him win again before at the end of the year. Also, Carlos winning, having his appendix out, so
yeah, crazy. While we're somewhat talking about Australia, how about those canceled Pilates classes, right? That's gotta be some favorite moments.
Anyway, if we're talking about Australia, let's talk about animals. So let's talk about all the animals that showed up at all the Grand Prix, or at a couple that I remember. Let's talk about the groundhog that everyone was obsessing about in Canada. And then also the lizard that almost got hit multiple times. And wasn't Max the one screaming, "There's a lizard"? Someone screamed, "There's a lizard," and it made me laugh. So I don't know why that's like on my list of things. It's just the fact that there's always
iconic within itself.
Oh yeah. So yeah, I thought I would leave that there for you.
Carlos and Checo's crash in the penultimate lap in Baku. They were battling, them and Charles, and it comes down to it, and both in the wall.
My 2 cents on that was the fact that I was watching it, and I was in the back of a car headed somewhere, and when it happened, I literally gasped and was like, "Oh my god." And the people I was riding with were like, "What just happened?" And I was like, "A crash." And they're like, "Where?" And I'm like, "Oh no, I'm on the phone." And
I feel bad because, like, all I'm talking about is McLaren. But I support McLaren, so. But I will tell you one thing that gets me fired up. So when Logan Sargent got let go by team I will not say because of said problems within the team. And I'm telling you, if I could, but look at where they are now, 17 points and 17 crashes. But it's all his fault, right?
yeah, speaking, I was gonna say Sargent's last race and just everything that happened to him. I could probably do a whole PowerPoint on that team and how they did him dirty, but they don't even deserve that because I don't like him. Which is hard because one of my favorite racers is going. to work with them. Anyways, moving on. And then if we're talking about last races, DRS, Daniel Ricciardo's last race, Singapore, everyone wasn't sure, but you could tell with the videos and how long he literally stayed in his car as long as he could after the race ended because he knew he was parting from it. And there's been word put out now that he's not coming back. He doesn't care much for F1 anymore. And I don't blame him after the way Visa treated him. I don't know. I was so sad because they just let, like, they dropped him so easily. And no, I was very disappointed in how Red Bull Visa treated him. And I'm currently very disappointed in how they're treating Yuki as well. Speaking of Yuki getting anyways, Yuki just being my favorite driver altogether. I am praying that he gets the Red Bull seat, but I doubt it because of everything that's going on. Don't even get me started on that. If Lawson gets it, I'm throwing hands. I will text them immediately, ask them to meet me outside, and we're going to have a come to Jesus meeting. Just saying. You know how I said this about the team I won't speak of? I'll do it again. I'll do it again with Red Bull. You count on it. I love you, Yuki.
My last favorite moment from this season is finding out that Lando is a PSG fan. So you all know already, I am a Bayern fan. I'm a Bayern girl. I love my team. But what happened in 2020? We beat PSG 1-0 in the Champions League. Champions of Europe, baby. But I was a little ticked off to find that out. So now whenever I see him supporting PSG or a team I don't like, Real Madrid, I make it a point to send Julie some, look at that, Bayern 1-0, baby! So that's one of my favorite moments, is learning that he's a PSG fan, because I don't support them and their club and what they do because they're not fan-based, but that's besides the point. But that was one of my favorite memories from this season.
Yes, that was a lot of memories that I'm probably gonna have to pick and choose from. I hope you liked the video. Please let us know in the comments your favorite moments from this season because there's been a lot, and if we're missing any, please tell me yours. Also, please tell us again your favorite statistics from the night. Anything else F1 related you would like to let us know, we will read it and we will comment. Now, don't expect us to comment in 2 minutes, because... but we will comment you back. So please subscribe, like this video. Please check out our links in the description below for all our social media pages. We have TikTok, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, probably some other stuff I'm forgetting about. Spotify, if you want to check out our podcast and listen to it instead of watching it, which is totally fine. Also, we're trying to get to 500 subscribers by the end of this year, so we can give a giveaway to 5 people instead of 1. If I'm missing anything, please turn on our post notifications because we have more videos coming out for the 12 days of Christmas. We are working really hard on those, so please check them out. I'm gonna let you go because I don't know anything else to say.
The last thing is, don't forget to comment your favorite fan moments. Well, your favorite moments from any of our episodes. We want to put together a video for you guys, and we need to know your favorite moments. So let us know down in the comments. You can let us know in our link tree. We have a little comment section on our link tree, and that link will be in our description. So please let us know some of your favorite moments from our videos this year. And again, we can include the stuff that is on Spotify that is not on YouTube. That will just... we might have to recreate it, but that would make it even funnier. So,
oh my god,
just do it, you know?